Commentary for the Italian Grand Prix presented to you by Merceresnia, James, and your special guest, Sman.
Hello and welcome to MMS Round 8 of Season 1. Today we are here in sunny San Marino for the Italian Grand Prix at Imola. This 4.9km track has 17 corners, 10 to the left and 7 to the right, twisting round the gorgeous countryside. Will we have an exciting race? That's up to you to decide. Let's go down to the grid.
Alright, on pole position for the race we have Thomas McHugh with a whopping time which is very good. P2 we have Samuel Graden right next to the McLaren of the Irishman. Following the other we have Kibi Jankowski in P3, Facundo Cardo who is replacing the raceman Helio Silva in P4, Torres P5, Tugut P6, Rankus P7, Stopwood P8, Vayak P9, Carrefour P10, Smith 11th, 12th is Giotto P13, Kabusek P14, Curtis P15, Voda P16, Martins P17, Fascia, P18, Jones P19, Zage. What the hell did I do? P20 Carrigal, P21 Sheffer, and P22 is Jack Agnes who rounds off the grid. With all that done, let's get to the lights.
I like that song, I was bobbing my head to that.
There we go, the revving the engines.
Here we go, lights are about to go out here in Imola.
Lights out.
And we are now underway. McHugh gets a very, very good start.
But look at
Gradin also gets a
Jankowski.
good start. Jankowski's going to go down the inside into the first chicane on turn 2. Turn 1 is a tiny kink, so it doesn't really mean anything. Through the Tamburello corner, now at turn 4 and on the run down towards the Villeneuve chicane, and McHugh has held the lead very nicely indeed. He's actually pulled quite a bit of a gap already. Now into the hairpin at Tosa. And McHugh still holding the lead. That's Curtis. This is his first ever race. He's replacing Helio Silva for this race. He's trying to get past one of the Saubers. And, okay, that's the AI car being killed.
There he's gonna
Anyway.
die. Meanwhile, Gradin on the back of Jankowski.
Gradin is not letting Jankowski run away from him, though. But Jankowski, we know he's aggressive. We know he's very good at only going forwards in races. Yeah, we're just going to kill the AI car, don't worry.
Meanwhile, Carter doing a pretty good job.
McHugh got a really bogged down exit there. He got a really terrible exit. Kubasek is under pressure from the other Sauber of Carivo, who himself is not in the nicest of places because he's in a Jaguar sandwich right now. He's got Giotto right behind him. Giotto obviously back, having served a race ban. Going into the last few chicanes where Rubens Barrichello almost lost his life in 1994. Obviously that terrible weekend. I don't think I need to say much more. Anyway, to start the second lap, everyone has survived the first lap. McHugh leads from Jankowski in second. Jankowski going down the inside. He's up the inside and he's taken the lead already. How long did that take? Not even a lap and a bit for Jankowski to take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Yes, it's normally the San Marino, but it's replacing the Italian Grand Prix, so therefore it's yes. Yeah. Just don't ask.
Meanwhile,
anyway.
Tugut and Rakus have a nice battle.
Tugut and Rakus, yeah, going up the hill towards the Piratalda corners. These are fantastic corners, these ones. Go this little right kink and then these two long left-handers. They're so fast and so so punishing if you get them wrong. Here's Smith, who started down in 11th. I think he's currently in 10th place. He's been at one place. No, not 10th anymore. If he loses that place to the Jaguar, that is the Jaguar of Kubasek. Giotto right behind him. So those guys managed to clear Carivo.
Meanwhile, anyway, Rakus on the back of his teammate.
Rakus on the back of his teammate. Rakus has been very impressive so far in the last few races, especially since Magny Cours, and he's taken the advantage here of the inside line and has got past his teammate, and that might not be all for Torres, because now here comes Tugut in the other Ferrari. The Ferraris have made very good progress so far this race. They are up into first and fourth. Very good stuff from, fourth, first and fifth. Very good stuff for them, as here comes McHugh now into the Traguardo corner. And now Tamburello turned 4 onto this little straight on the run down towards Villeneuve. McHugh quite far behind actually in the end. He didn't get a great run through the Villeneuve corner, now uphill towards the Tosa hairpin. And McHugh is not able to make any moves. Here comes Rakus now through the Tosa hairpin up the hill towards the right kink, and now into the Piratelda corner, and Too Good is really harassing the back of the BAR. He gets a little bit of a touch there from Victorious, I believe. He had a bit of a squirm mid-corner, so I presume that was from a bit of contact, as here are the top three going up towards the chicane at it's called the Variante Alta. Alta means high in Italian, and it is the highest point on the circuit, so it does make sense.
Oh,
And that is
Smith
the
runs
Jordan running
completely
wide. It's all
wide.
kicking off. Smith goes wide, loses 2 places to the Jaguars. He's down to 12th place now. He was ahead of them both going into going up the hill towards the Variante Alta, but I think he's been bogged down here by the guys in front of him. I think I saw Curtis run wide. Oh no, he's just gone down the inside of Starkford. How has he not lost his front wing there? And then should be he probably should have lost his front wing twice there, to be honest. Lucky it stayed on as McHugh is retaking the lead of the Italian Grand Prix at the Rivazza corners from Jankowski and the Ferrari. That's not going to be a popular move. McHugh doing it for McLaren stays. His teammate currently running outside of the points. He'll be trying to turn that around, obviously. As here comes Too Good now through the turn 1 kink and into the Trogardo corner. The Trogardo chicane implemented after the 1994 season. Alex Too Good does not get an overtake done. He doesn't even think of an overtake through there. And as he is chased by Latoris, we have a look on board with Isaac for sure in 13th place. John Woda going around the outside of the Villeneuve chicane. He gains a spot. Good job from him. Martin's losing a place to Caravo, who's dropped back massively. Caravo has dropped back massively. He was right with the Jaguars a few laps ago, and now he's all the way at the back, being overtaken by the Benetton here around the outside, maybe. Caravo's going to hold it just about. Very well done from Caravo through the Piratelda corners.
Cargill.
Sorry, Cargill. Cargill.
Let's go on board with Olivia's Age. Coming into the twist chicane.
Sage goes down the inside to the Variante Alta, goes wide just like Smith did, but does not lose too much momentum, so keeps the place, doesn't gain or lose anything, but is under pressure from Cargill now, who himself is under pressure from the Benetton of Martins, who gets passed into the Rivazza double left-hander. Anyway, back to the front.
This is a very close back.
You see McHugh is still ahead of Jankowski, but now these guys have been caught by the BAR of, I believe it's Racus, it is Racus, going through Tamburello onto the straight towards Villeneuve. They're all very much in single file. Look how Too Good is catching these guys now. On board with Racus going through the Tosa hairpin, it goes slightly uphill. And now you're really going up the hill towards the Piratelda across a low elevation at Imola. It's a great circuit. Downhill through the first Piratelda court. Through the first Piratelda, Kubasek making a move on Stopford, going down the inside. He's going to have to defend around the outside now, though, going into the Acqua Minerale, which stands for mineral water, and he's actually managed to get it done. He's managed to get past now into the Variante Alta, and he's held the position, and Stopford is actually going to come under pressure from Giotto now. It's called the mineral water chicane because of the mineral water spring around the corner. That's a little bit of history for you guys there. Anyway, on board with Too Good, trying to get past Racus here, going into the final chicane. This is where Mika Hakkinen famously lost control of his car. Too Good really harassing the back of Racus. Ever since he got to the... Oh, look at that. Graded has got past Jankowski and is trying to get past Thomas McHugh going into the Traguardo corner. Now through Tamburello. McHugh, he does not look very settled here. It is quite difficult to overtake around this circuit. McHugh into Tosa is somehow still in front. I don't know how he's holding on, to be honest. He does not have pace at all. Jankowski, big moment on the exit for Kubio Jankowski, championship leader.
This is why you don't ride the curb.
Yep.
The curbs are very aggressive around
all these guys running the point. Smith has cleared one of the Jaguars of Giotto, I believe. Getting towards the back here on the sofa. Thomas McHugh, though, still leading this race into the next chicane. I'm sure we're going to start seeing Stopford move through the order just like his teammate has. Anyway, on board with Kubasek going towards the Rivazza double left-handers. He's pressuring the back of Mihail Valyak in the Sauber. Valyak's had a decent season. He's always shown good pace, but not always the best in the races. In terms of his craft, he hasn't had the best.
He has a lot of qualifying pace, and he shows it. But in the races, either he crashes or just.
Valyak's run a little bit wide here. He defends the outside line quite oddly, cuts off Kubasek on the outside rather than the inside. Kubasek thinks of a move, but Stopford does as well. Stopford overtakes Kubasek, and that might not be all, because through the second part of the Torgado chicane, Smith gets past. That's another overtake around the outside of that corner that we saw. I think it was Kuba Jankowski pulling off earlier. So the Jaguars are back together. Kyoto back on the back of his teammate.
Carrefour runs a bit wide.
Does run a bit wide, but
Fasher may get a move on.
The tight hairpins like Tosa, you can take a couple lines a bit wider than usual. Carrefour sends the car up the inside into Piratalda, but it's not going to materialize because he just didn't have enough speed on the inside of the corner. Now the Aqua Minerale chicane. All looks good from him.
Meanwhile, Curtis make a move on Fasher into the chicane. That's very risky. Yep. He goes off
again. It's happened again. It's not always the best of moves because it's so tight. It's a really, really quick chicane. It's fast as well. So if things go wrong, then yeah, you got a bit of a problem.
Meanwhile, Jones
but anyway,
Fasher now having a beautiful battle here, side by
great
side.
battle here going into the last chicane.
Just a bit wide.
Varianta Bassa onto the straight now. The start-finish straight going into the turn one kink. The spiker is not the spiker. The arrows. Sorry. I'm sorry. The arrows. Correcting myself. For sure trying to hold the outside line, but that's not going to work through Tamburello. It's two left-handers there right through the chicane and Tamburello, so it's always more favourable to be on the inside. And in this case, the arrows does hold it, as there is Aaron Curtis making a move on John Woder in the Jordan.
Meanwhile,
you'd expect the Jordan to be slightly higher up, wouldn't you?
Jankowski overtaken by Alex Toogood.
Alex Toogood is finally showing his potential. He's managed to overtake his teammate. He's into the top three. Going through into the next chicane.
Oh,
McHugh is
loses
not
the back
pulling
end.
away at all. McHugh is not pulling away at all well. He's really struggling to build a gap. We have not seen it much this season, people pulling gaps, but we've never seen it quite this bad. Samuel Graydon has overtaken McHugh, and it gets worse. Alex Toogood sends it up the inside through the second Rivazza. Ignore my voice crack, please. And he takes second place, and I'm sure Jankowski, Kuba Jankowski, championship leader, is going to be trying to find a way through. McHugh is one of his championship rivals, albeit not the strongest right now in terms of position.
Thing is, no matter what, at this stage, Kuba has a 22-point lead over the next person in the championship, which is quite hard to make it up for. So I think it's safe to say Kuba has secured the lead for the next 2 to 3 races, if nothing changes with his pace.
Yeah. McHugh! Oh! McHugh lost it!
Oh, what happened there?
McHugh has lost it in a massive, massive way.
Can't do is off the track as well.
Jankowski. I don't know how Jankowski's front wing is still intact. They must have come together. What happened here? McHugh has probably just dropped it on the curb.
Yeah, he did a Cubio.
He just drops it on the curb, and he does hit Jankowski twice.
I've never seen a car do that.
Somehow holds it. He drops it on the curb. It happened in '99. Hakkinen dropping it on the curb, dropping out of the lead of the race.
It was in the McLaren as well.
How is that front wing still on? How are both of those guys still in this race? Jankowski lost a bit of time, obviously. That's quite a sight to see the car spinning around like that right in front of you.
Speaking of Hakkinen, McHugh has his helmet, so I think that's a Hakkinen curse.
McHugh has dropped down. He has dropped down the order, obviously. Not as far as we might have expected him, though. He's still ahead of this enormous group. He's still running. I think he's probably fourth, fifth, or sixth place. Jordan leading the pack. Stopford runs wide. Someone runs wide but overtakes Valyak off the circuit.
That's questionable.
He overtook. It seems He got a better run by going off the circuit. That is not going to go down well. Let's have a replay of this. And
That's
if he does run
quite
wide here, I'm sure the
controversial.
stewards will have a look at this. He gets a better run, and he does overtake. He
Well,
does get.
Over
He uses the outside to get a better run. He doesn't overtake him off the circuit, but he does use. He does
Oh,
gain
wait,
an
Smith.
advantage by going off. And now Valyak's lost a place to Smith as well. He got compromised massively there. So Smith going through this corner, he's all normal. Stopford overtakes Valyak. Valyak must be a bit surprised, and then Smith tucks into the slipstream, and I think he's probably just going to send one into the Rivatsa left-hander.
Oh,
And
he does a
and
Valyak.
he's lost his front wing. It's happened again.
He does a Valyak. That is
It's
just
happened
sad.
again, and now the questions of sack are going to be coming up, not just for the McHugh, and once again on the same lap, both McLarens bottle their chances of any good results as the two Jordans go side by side down the straight.
I mean,
Kyoto has managed to get past Kubasek for
unlike
the first time this entire
thing
afternoon.
is, unlike Smith, McHugh still has a chance at a very nice championship
Exactly,
position.
but Smith's is over. He's lost his front wing now. There's no chance really.
Yeah. He's just slowing
His
this whole
season
pack.
has been stale, to say the least. It's been awful. The amount of points that have been thrown away either through strategy or, in this case, mistakes like that.
You can't even count them
it's
on your
comical.
fingers.
Anyway, Too Good is right on the back of Samuel Graydon, and we've seen people attempt overtakes into this chicane. Too Good thinks better of it. He's in a very good
He
position.
loses the back
He
end
hasn't been in
again.
for much this season, but he does lose the back end. He rides the cup a bit too much, rides it on the outside as well, which you don't always want to do. And now he's under pressure from his teammate. But I'm sure that Jankowski will be told to just be careful with his teammate.
Yeah,
He's in a
thing
good
is,
position.
Cubio, I don't think he listens to those commands. He's always trying to get the
No, I
most
don't
out
think
of
so
it.
either, to be honest.
Just
Knowing
like
him.
Gradin.
Tuga gets a good run out of the next corner though. And Gradin is going to be under pressure. He's doing a McHugh. He can't pull away. And into the Tragaldo corner. Jankowski, it looked like everyone wanted to go down the inside of the other car ahead of them, but nobody did in the end.
That's a bit weird.
But there's still a chance for Tuga to overtake Samuel Graydon here into Villeneuve. It's a super fast corner, but Tosa's a very slow one. So
Now
you can
to
send one up the inside. there.
Tosa down the
And
inside.
Graydon is going to lose the place. Alex Tuga takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix here in San Marino.
For the first time this
For
season,
the first
meanwhile,
time this season, he leads as Smith is in the pits. And that is Giotto in the pits. Now, Giotto's just served a race ban. Is he in the wars again here? He is. He's already lost his front wing at this point. He's got a huge time. Oh no, he's going to hit the back of Smith here, isn't he? Oh, he's lost it.
he did the same thing as Smith.
Through the mineral waterfall corner.
The mineral water ain't good for cars, man.
No, it was Giotto. Kubasek is fine.
Yeah, meanwhile,
In fact, it's probably good
Raku's
Kubasek lost the place
pressurizing
to Giotto
Gradin.
because it might have been him hitting the back end.
Gradin lost 2 positions
car.
now. This is horrible
Gradin is
news.
tumbling down the order. Look at McHugh. He's spun and he's already back up now. So as soon as he loses the lead, he's suddenly bolted, showing why he got pole position and how he got pole position.
Rubber
Now,
banding.
is he going to do what his teammate did? He goes down the inside of Rakus, shows his teammate how it's done. Rakus, though, goes off the track and repasses him.
I
Now,
don't think that was off
was
track.
that again passing off the circuit?
It was not.
Let's have a look on board with Rakus. You're going to see McHugh's car up the inside here. McHugh, if anything,
That's
pushed him off the
indolent,
circuit.
Yeah.
That seems fair enough to me.
Stopford on
There
the
was
back
no
of the
second
Taurus.
Here's Stopford on the back of the Taurus. The BARs have been having an excellent run of form in the last few races. They were a bit slow to start the season, but they've been really impressive recently. And now onto the start-finish straight into turn 1 and towards the Traguardo chicane. Stopford might go for a move. We often see moves on the second part of it rather than the first.
Tugut
because
has
it's
been overtaken doubly. What happened here?
Oh, Tugut has been overtaken by his teammate. So it was a Ferrari 1-2. They swapped places. Oh, he's been hit.
Oh,
I think he got hit there.
that was a smudge, if anything.
If any, but it was enough to lose him ground. Let's have a on board of Kubio Jankowski. Jankowski, he's going to go to the inside here, and he is going to hit his teammate.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Jankowski has been doing that all season, and eventually it's going to get to the point where enough is enough. I think we were reaching that point, to be honest. He did it in Germany at the hairpin. He did it at Magny-Cours towards the back of the field. I noticed a couple times. I wouldn't put it under. I don't think it'll be under investigation, but I do think that he needs to tone it down a little bit because eventually it is going to end up in a spin for either him or another driver, which in both circumstances he's probably going to get penalised for.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Anyway.
Gradin on the back of Cubio once again this race.
Is he going to go for it? No. Oh, he rides the curb. A little bit of a correction needed on the outside there.
Yeah, but he still has slipstream coming into this couple of corners. He may send it. It's Gradin, you never know.
Into the reverse corner. Gradin is aggressive as well. These are probably the two most aggressive drivers on the grid. Not including Smith because he doesn't know how to be aggressive. But anyway, Too Good is really in the slipstream of Gradin. Gradin had a terrible exit. Too Good had an amazing one. The Ferraris seem to be very good on the traction zones of this circuit. And Too Good, is he going to do what his teammate did to him on the last lap and give Gradin a little nudge going into the first chicane?
No.
Let's see. No, he's not. It's pretty difficult because it's turning and then you have to... It's turning and braking. It's pretty difficult to put a move on. Jankowski has probably got a sizable enough gap. Not sure about Gradin though. Actually, screw that. They're all in a single file train. Five of them, maybe six. Maybe six if the Jordan can join in.
I mean, Carter, debuting driver, obviously from Argentina. Jordan said they have no expectations about him. He's just a filler
but
for one
he's
race.
outperforming Curtis right now, very much so.
I mean, yeah, Curtis bottled qualifying and, yeah, there's that. Thing is, Curtis has a lot of pace. I mean, scoring 2 podiums in France and Perez. No matter how chaotic the races are, a podium is still quite important. Now, Gradin hits Jankowski on the
Gradin
rejoin.
goes wide. He was alongside, not any whole side it seems, but then goes back to the outside to take a normal
made a move on
third race
Too Good.
line. There's McHugh on Too Good. Too Good's falling down the order again. Here comes the McLaren into the Variante Bassa, the final chicane of this lap. And McHugh gets past the Ferrari. So Too Good was leading this race. He's only falling backwards now, and he's got the debutant Jordan right behind him now. Back to the front though, and Rakus is holding down a podium right now, and is watching the battle for the lead between Samuel Gradin and Kubio Jankowski here, with 10 laps to go.
This race is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's way better than Monza.
It's good battling. It is good battling. There's not many overtakes, but it's good battling anyway. Through the Tossa hairpin, and Gradin is as close as he's been on any of these laps. Look at how close you can almost.
And now McHugh onto Rakus, they touch.
Rakus and McHugh make contact. McHugh's front wing's still intact. Everything's fine, except Too
Good running outside.
And now Rakus is going to lose another place. He's lost 3 places. He's lost 3 places. He's gone from a podium down to 6th, and he might not even end there because he's got 2 cars behind him, including his teammate who tries to overtake him off the circuit. Not today, says Rakus, who holds the place, but he did not hold down 3rd place. He lost the position to McHugh around the outside.
That's Valjak without a front wing.
Early, and Valjak has not got a front wing.
Oh
Valjak is missing his front wing. It looks like it's happened into the Villeneuve corner. This is a really fast corner.
And he does it again.
Rammed into the back of the Benetton.
And he's done again. He did it in
He was in the
Jerez.
points. He was in the points, I believe.
He did it in Jerez and he did it again.
And now Vasseur is causing a traffic jam at the Variante Alta. The 2 Minardis are going for it here. The battle for very much
for the wooden spoon.
Just above last. Sage has got the better of chauffeur here.
The battle for the wooden spoon continues.
He's holding them up so much, and he does go into the pit lane. Sensible stuff. Obviously, he's missing a rear wing.
Smith and Giotto there. Meanwhile, McHugh in the lead. Oh no!
And is that Gradin on a rear wing? It is. Gradin has lost his rear wing, and what's happened
Wait, what happened here?
He's locked up into the Variante Bassa. He's rejoined the circuit, and he's run wide. Has been rammed, and there goes the front wing of Kubio Jankowski.
He took out Jankowski.
The championship leader has lost his front wing, no less at Ferrari's home race. He's out of contention for surely even a points finish. And now look at the train forming behind, allowing all the cars in front just to bolt away.
Wait. Let's consider that Cubio only has the front wing to change, so
Yeah.
the pit window is coming soon, so Cubio...
Look at Raku's going around the outside of the Piratello corner though.
Oh my god.
Jankowski is so slow. He's dreadfully slow. Look at him being overtaken left, right, centre. Even Carivo is quicker than him at this point.
Thing is, what
in
people
the
may not
Sauber.
notice right now, Cubio might get an edge ahead of all the drivers because of the strategy. If that
The
happens,
pit window
Ferrari...
is opening soon.
Yeah.
Carivo go down inside Litorius' car, bouncing about 5 times there. Litorius looks to have held the position though. Carivo still wants to go down the inside, but he probably shouldn't. He does. They go 3 wide on the exit. It was poised for disaster, but it's worked out in the end. Jankowski is going to be pitting this lap, but everyone else is going to be pitting as well. So he does not have to pit again in this race. Cubio Jankowski might just... This is probably one of the best laps he could have done it on. It would have been even better if everyone else was pitting. Cubio Jankowski does enter the pit lane, and he's going to drop right to the back of the field now.
Yeah. And now the game...
That is a big blow.
And the pit window is open.
And
Cubio
Samuel
pits...
Gradin, I believe, escaped with rear wing damage.
Wait, no way. Cubio pits 1 lap ahead of... Oh no. Rakus is in the pits, and I think Voda pits
A
as
lot of
well.
cars coming into the pits now. Actually, not that many.
Schäfer.
Only a few are.
Yeah,
only a few
but
are.
that
As
means...
Jankowski exits the pit lane, where is he? Where
Curtis.
is he in relation? That's a front wing gone on Curtis's Jordan.
Oh, it's
Curtis
just...
isn't running
It's
he
a
wasn't running
nightmare.
too well. This is
It's a
quite a long way
nightmare
back.
for Curtis today. Qualifying
It's not been a
bottled.
good race, bad quali, and so far an awful race.
Oh, it's
Let's
just
have
a repeat
look.
of
It looks like
Valyak.
he's into Villeneuve corner again, and he's rammed into the back of the Arrows, not the Spiker. My bad. Anyway,
Tugud very close to McHugh now. This is so far the best race for Alex Tugud, but you never know.
how has McHugh managed to get back to the lead of the race here?
I mean, Gradin and Cubio crashed out, that's why.
Too good. Not too good on the exit of that corner, to be honest.
I mean, I think Tugud is trying to save some fuel at the same time. He doesn't want to risk it, he knows that his luck is non-existent. So, I think
Yep.
it's for the better that he's not overtaking McHugh just yet.
Here we go, though. McHugh, neither of these guys were pitting, and it has just been confirmed a 5-second time penalty for Cubio Jankowski for illegal blocking on his way back to the pit lane.
Oh wow. Meanwhile,
which will be
McHugh,
added in a race.
Tugud,
That's
Stofford,
an insult to
Cardew,
injury.
Litoris, Carivu, all coming into the pits.
All coming into the pits, and I tell you what, if Smith and Cubio don't have to pit, they may well still get points because they're
Yeah.
on fresh tires and clean air, and they'll
Look,
have been
Jankowski's
pushing
just
like mad.
15th.
Jankowski's still in the final chicane. Where is Smith? Smith, I think, is in the final chicane now. So Jankowski is up into 12th place with cars ahead of him yet to pit, obviously. And Smith not too far behind him. Obviously, Jankowski has the 5-second time penalty to be added at the end as well. Not for the incident with Gradin, but for what was happening afterwards. Just causing an absolute traffic jam behind him, illegally blocking
Yeah, there's
cars.
Gradin, lapped, soon to be lapped by his teammate.
Gradin's soon to be lapped by his teammate. He's already been lapped by the 2 cars ahead of him.
Oh, look how slow he's going.
Yeah, he's really struggling.
But I mean, Stofford is pitting this lap as well, so
Can't be fixed.
Stofford has to lose time behind his teammate. This is not
He
good,
pits.
and here it is,
That's
pit
pretty
camera.
smart. So, all the leaders now coming into the pit lane. McHugh, Tugud, Stopford. Everyone is coming in now.
Now, question is, will McLaren have no luck in pit stops again? Oh, it's a very fast pit stop from
It's a
McLaren.
good pit stop. Did McLaren just deliver a good
Oh,
pit stop? Yes,
Ferrari
they did.
has bottled
Thomas
it.
McHugh is going to rejoin in the race lead. That is the first time this season we can actually say that McLaren delivered a decent pit stop to their drivers, and also confirmed a 3-second time penalty for Samuel Gradin for a dangerous rejoin, which took himself and Cubio out of this race. So that will also be added at the end.
Wait, look, the order is just shaken up. Caribou is P6.
Yeah, it's complete
P7.
a mess.
Yeah, there's QB Yankowski in P8.
It's a total mess at this point. Jankowski's in P8 with a 5-second penalty, remember though. And I believe that is Smith in P10 if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah, it is.
So both of them are still in the points after all that happened.
Curtis is P13, so
Yep.
Valyak P12, they nearly touch. In the corner, they have crashed out.
Both Curtis and Valyak have lost bodywork this race as well.
Cardu, though, P2 in the debut race, saved by strategy, pretty much. He's just going for it. Alex Stugut as well doing a very nice job.
With the Williams of Sam Stopford going through the final double corner on this circuit. There are a lot of double corners, especially left-handers. The Peralta, Rivazza corners, they're very nice though, to be honest. They are very nice corners to drive. I think we can all I think I can be backed up on that by pretty much everybody. So we're running around in 5th place at the moment, I believe. Latoris has pit as well, so that is effectively 5th. But Latoris doing a great job in the PL.
Meanwhile, too good.
Rakus was the lead BA.
Raku's messed up in the pits. He pitted earlier and that did not help him. Let's go on cockpit camera with Alex Stugut. Ferrari have installed these cameras on the helmets for their home race.
Yep. Gives you an idea of just how fast these drivers have to react and exactly what they can see. They can't actually see most of the T cams are see a lot more than these drivers do. You can see they can hardly see the side of them. They have to use their mirrors extensively to know where other cars are. It's a difficult task.
Stugut is slowly catching up Cardu. Actually, no, he's losing time to him. I think the Delta is broken though, as he's gaining time on him.
Yeah, that can happen. Delta's not always 100% accurate. Into the Variante Bassa. Cardu though in 2nd place on his debut. Imagine that.
I mean, the Argentinian must be absolutely flabbergasted by what's happening
Q has
here.
now lapped Isaac Fasur, and I have to say Fasur has probably been the meme of the season. To be honest, it's like Smith. It's been terrible, but even worse.
I mean, he got outscored by his replacement, but Benetton decided to give Isaac a chance. It didn't quite work, did it?
Doesn't look good for him, to be honest, for the future.
Meanwhile, Stopford's very close to
Stopford
the
is now
Torres.
caught up to Latoris rather quickly. We can see the pace of the Williams here and why they are such a force in the Constructors' Championship. Not only are they consistent, but they're quick in the races.
Yeah.
And Stopford, he loses a little bit of time in the double left-hander, but I'm sure he'll gain it back pretty quickly going into the next couple of corners.
Yeah, he gained a lot of time, and now he's in the slipstream of the Torres.
The slipstream of Latoris. Surely he's not going to go for another move into the Variante Alta, especially after the last one ended. No, he's much more sensible this time. A lot of sparks flying though from Latoris as he mounted the inside curves. Now into the Rivazza corner. Stopford goes down the inside, and that was going to end in tears. Thankfully, Stopford backed out of it rather late, it has to be said though. I could see his front wing flying off. I could envision it, but it didn't happen, fortunately. Stopford now into the last chicane, ahead behind Latoris. Latoris taking the normal racing line. It's difficult to overtake into turn 2, which is why most drivers don't bother defending. But Stopford is super close to the back of that car. Not quite close enough though. Just tucks in behind, going in towards Villeneuve, and has a bad run for Tamburello. He got in the dirty air and was going to be shoved out wide by it as a result. And he's already caught back up to Latoris. He's going to overtake him soon, and surely he's thinking of a move into Toast.
Outside, not quite.
Not around the outside of that corner. You simply cannot. It's just not possible.
We
haven't seen a single driver do it.
We've just
over
passed
the crest.
The skid marks of Thomas McHugh. In the aftermath,
McHugh had spun out of this race and yet still runs in the lead.
I mean, that's quite impressive. Meanwhile, look, there's a train for P1.
And I'm going to say this now, McHugh's lead is coming down. That Jordan might actually win this race on his debut. Could you imagine
he
that?
is down inside of Fascia.
Whoa! For sure is not helping matters at all here. He's letting McHugh break away into the distance. What are you doing, for sure? You're gonna let the cars through. He's a lap down, and now Tugan and Cardew have lost about a good second and a half. That has already been noted by the stewards, and I think that's going to be a pretty easy decision. That was very clear blocking
I mean,
on for sure's part.
he's last. I don't think seconds will do anything.
Look at McHugh. He's bolted in the McLaren with 2 laps to go, no less. For sure has to get out of the way. He just has to.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get out of the way, it's just going to play less and less into his hands. Not just in terms of penalties, but maybe even in terms of his drive. He's had these guys behind him almost an entire lap now, and he hasn't even sniffed. They haven't even had a sniff of seeing him backing off to let them past.
For sure, he's actually gaining onto McHugh. Look how much time McHugh has lost through this
For
couple
sure
of corners.
For sure is nearing disqualification now. This is ridiculous. Oh, McHugh makes an error. McHugh bottles himself up on the inside curbs, but it bottles everyone up behind him as well.
For sure,
For sure looks like he wants to move. For sure looks like he wants to move on McHugh. They make contact. McHugh goes out wide. For sure's overtaken. For sure has overtaken the race leader. What is he doing? He's allowed to unlap himself, but after the previous chain of events, this is ridiculous. And suddenly, McHugh's lead has been completely leveled.
One lap
going on to the final lap of this race. This is going to go right down to the wire. We have the debutant in the Jordan. We have Alex Tugan, who's had an absolute horror show of a season, and we have Thomas McHugh, who has issues in the McLaren in the lead. Who is going to win this race? Is it going to be either of them? Are they all going to crash out on the last lap? Let's see. We'll have to wait and see as they go through turn 7. Only 10 more corners to go after this. This is not a bad overtaking spot, but it's too far back for Kurda. McHugh is just holding all the right lines at this point now over the crest. This is not an official corner. The next one is, though, the Piratelda, the first of the 2.
And now into Aqua Mineral, or however you pronounce it.
Aqua Minerale. Up the hill now onto the highest point of the circuit.
Tugan is seriously close.
Is looking racy. Alex Tugan is looking racy for a second place. He's currently on the podium. He bottles himself up on the curve though, and it's all good. It looks like it's between Thomas McHugh and Korda here. The Jordan and the McLaren. Let's have a look. Jordan are yet to win a race this season, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Too good now. He has closed up so much to Cardew.
The Rivazza corners, and now is heading for the Variante Bassa for the very last time. Thomas McHugh
wins the Italian Grand Prix
and comes out of the final corner to win the Italian Grand Prix at the Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari and keep it going for Korda here in the Jordan, who takes second place on his debut in a Jordan. Fantastic
Alex
stuff from him.
Tugad,
And Alex Tugad gets his first podium of the season. And it has been
Letoris P4, Stoff at P5,
result.
Jankowski P6, he will probably keep it.
P6 momentarily, unofficially P6.
Caribou
Caribou
7th, Rakus 8th, Kavusek 9th, Smith P10, that is something to be happy about.
Smith does get points in the end.
Getter 11th, Valiak 12th, Curtis 13th. Martins,
that was clean
Schäfer,
end-to-end
Carrigal,
action at the end. That was tense.
Zage P8 19, Graden P20, for sure P21.
And Isaac for sure, he is currently under investigation for a potential disqualification.
I mean, yeah, he deserves it. As much as I am for the drivers to make it available for them to unlap themselves, not in this manner, not in that way. That was way too risky and too aggressive. You have ended the races of all the drivers there, so yeah.
Anyways, we hope you all enjoyed that race. It took a little while for it to get going, but it happened in the end, and it was a pretty decent one. It's not quite up there with Magni Core and that, but it was very, very clean racing. We only saw a couple front wings fly off, and it was tense at the end as well, which is what you want.
So, driver of the day, James?
I'm gonna say Korda.
I mean, yeah, Cardew did quite well, getting a very good position for his debut run.
No, no. What am I talking about? Driver of the day, Isaac for sure, for not knowing what blue flags are. What a
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful drive from Isaac Fisher. I mean, at this, he has 20 penalty points. If he gets 5 more, that's another race ban, and after that, the FIA may consider to ban him further, as it kind of shows he's aggressive, isn't it? Again, it's in the rules that the FIA may decide to season ban driver under different circumstances other than the points. Anyways, for me, it would be Cardew, and I mean, too good. He started up in there, I know that, but come on. To do.
Did well, yeah. He finally delivered on the car's potential.
Also, Kabusek, didn't he start like almost last the P9?
Yeah, he
That's.
had a very good start. Very, very good start.
Yeah, that's a very good race for both of them. The bad of the day. That's my award.
Isaac for sure. I think that's
Yeah, for
undoubtedly.
sure, and Graden. I mean,
Yeah.
both of them just. Anyways, thank you for coming to this Italian Grand Prix. It was a bit of a mess to set it up, but that's because factor. Anyways, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed this race as much as we did. Remember to be safe on the roads and wear your seatbelt. Bye bye.